Y'all already know what it is. What it is. What it's always gonna be. Now, January 10th. I'll explain all this later live. I need y'all to get in tune. Tap in to what we about to do. Now, tonight's episode, gonna dive down a little bit, take a little stroll, just a little stroll, real quick. And we're gonna talk about some song, right? This continues with my song series, man. Tonight, we've used some pretty good songs to incorporate what we're doing. So this is not gonna be any different. Tonight we are talking about, the feeling when love isn't a battle, but a blessing. When you don't have to fight for attention because they're already serving you. We're talking about one of the greatest songs that I just feel like to myself is one of the greatest songs about love. The Sweetest Thing by Lauryn Hill, right? That song speaks about service, sacrifice, right? A lot of people seem to think that catering to your partner is a sign of weakness. Me, I think it's the ultimate power move. All right? So tonight we're going to talk about a selfless thing called selfless love. Lauryn Hill wasn't talking about cars or money. He wasn't talking about big houses and jewelry. She was talking about a specific spot, the body, the mind. See, real intimacy is in the details, so you got to pay attention, right? If a partner knows how to touch you to calm you down, that is a high value service. Because not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can figure you out. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm one of them that once I get started, it's really, really hard to slow down. It's really hard to stop. It's really hard, Once I take control, I take control. You know what I'm saying? They studied you. They understand you. They know how to, get the softer side of you. You know what I'm saying? They know how to get the touch. They know how to, just get to that side. You know what I'm saying? That side that not a lot of people can figure out. And it's important. Touch is very important when it comes to a relationship. Touch is very important. Okay? I don't ever want people to feel like, when you can able to touch somebody and you're able to reach a part of their soul, that's different. That's a different vibe. That's different. She once said the soft caress of happiness, right? In a world full of hard knocks and stress, right? Your partner, and we can't stress this enough, should definitely be the softest place for you to land, right? If your relationship feels like work, it's not sweet. I mean, work is cool, but it's not, service means creating an environment of peace for your partner to come home to. When I'm at work, I don't feel peace. You know what I'm saying? It's stress. So once you go home, that's where the peace comes in at. Are you their stress or are you their sanctuary? Only you know how to get that out of them. You know what I'm saying? Active admiration is key. You know what I'm saying? When she said the way you walk, your style of dress, right? That's a different type of element. It's a different type of power right there. You know what I'm saying? She's actively admiring him. You have to be a fan of your partner. Okay? Tell them that they look good. Hype them up before they walk out the door. Verbal affirmation is a service. Okay? If you stop admiring them, you stop fueling their confidence to go out and win. And you actually open the door for someone else to admire them. So active admiration is key. Active admiration is key. You know what I'm saying? Even if you having your good days, your bad days, whatever, active admiration is key. Straight up. Don't get caught up in the world that you forget to admire what you have or who you're with. All right. For them to be able to be vulnerable, we think being weak for someone is bad. All right. Vulnerability is a luxury. All right. Being able to let your guard down and be weak in their presence means you trust their strength to hold you up. You don't have to be Superman 24/7. You don't have to be Superwoman 24/7. It's not always a thing where you have to be strong 24/7. If you have to be strong 24/7, you are not in a partnership. You are in a war. All right. And I'm just going to be honest with you. You are in a war. You are in a battle. You are fighting for your life. You are fighting for your peace. You are fighting for security. You are not in a relationship. You are definitely in a war. All right. She said, makes me want to argue just to see how much you're in love with me. On paper, that sound kind of toxic. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit sound kind of toxic. You know what I'm saying? On a piece of paper, that shit sounds toxic. But when you understand what she's saying, right? When you understand what she's saying, it takes you on a different level. I know sometimes we all guilty of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We all guilty. Starting a fight just to see if they fight for you, that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. It's things that men and women both do. There's an immature side of passion, and then there's a mature side of passion. It's really deep like that sometimes, you know. There's an immature side of it, yeah. But I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of get it in a sense, because sometimes you want to test and see if somebody is really for you. You know what I'm saying? You want to see if somebody really has your back. You want to see if somebody is really into you. So sometimes people do pick and probe at you just to get a reaction out of you, just to see that fire. You know what I'm saying? But my philosophy is you don't need to start fire to see if they'll bring water. That's not sweet. That's stressful. Stop testing your love with conflict, because at the end of the day, sometimes people get frustrated. Sometimes people get upset. Sometimes people get pissed off, because it's like, yo, I'm steady showing you that I'm here, that I got you, that I'm with you. You steady nitpicking and picking and trying to argue. I say this shit all the time. I say this shit all the time. You find yourself trying to argue, trying to fight because you want to test my love. You want to see how far I go. That's cool. And at one point in the beginning, that might be cute. That might be fun. And after a while, if you keep doing that shit, I'm going to get irritated. Ain't shit sweet about constantly have to put my love to the test. We're not doing that. But I get it. I get it. When she said it, it's like, yo, I want to argue with you just because I want to see if you still in love with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. You know? Queen upon her throne. All right. That comes from a line where she knows her place. All right, she knows her place. She knows her place. You know, she isn't serving him from a place of inferior. She is serving from a place of royalty. She knows her place. High value woman serves her man and vice versa, because we're going to get into that. But this is specifically about this song. She knows her own worth not because she's desperate, right? She caters to him because he treats her like a queen. So why in return would she not reciprocate that? Okay? That's a reciprocal thing. I treat you like you matter. You treat me like I matter. And watch we grow. Watch we vibe and we kick it. Watch how we grow. Watch how we build. If we treat each other like we something, if we treat each other like we are royalty, like we do matter, that's something that can't nobody just come step on and throw out and toss to the side, because you treating people like they matter, and that's what's important. We live in a disposable culture. All right. We find something sweet and pure. It's like finding a diamond. If you have it, right, you got to protect it. If you want $1 million today, right, you're going to do everything in your power to keep that $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to let nothing. You're not going to let that $1 million out your sight. You're not going to lose track of it at all. You're going to know where it's at all times. You're going to sleep with it. You're going to sleep around it. You're going to eat with it. You're going to protect it. You're going to guide it. You're going to lead it. You're going to keep that money on wraps. $1 million. How many of us just walk around with $1 million? I get $1 million. I'm definitely going to walk around with $1 million. You ain't going to know I got $1 million, but I'm going to walk around with it. Like, for real. Don't let outside noise or bitter friends or people that don't know what love is ruin the sweetness that you found. You got to ask yourself, right? When's the last time you sat down and just listened to their voice, right? Not to reply, but just listen. Listening is the highest form of respect, right? If they feel heard, they feel loved, they feel loved. If you always interrupting them, you aren't serving them. You serving your own ego. And you know, I say this too. A lot of times we get in relationships and we get in things and we can't really get comfortable and understand who we are as a person, because we always feel like we getting interrupted, getting cut off, getting blocked, getting pushed to the side. So sometimes we just want somebody that's gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna hear us. You know, and that's always key. That's always important. You know, just to be heard. We all do this, right? We tell somebody to leave, because she said, I get mad when you walk away. So I tell you to leave when I mean stay. That is a huge immature defense mechanism at times, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? There's sacrifice in that though, because you got to swallow your pride. If you want them to stay, just stay. Just say that. You know what I'm saying? Your ego wants to win. Your ego wants to win the argument. Your heart wants to win the relationship. I'ma always go with the heart, because the ego ain't never gonna win you in a situation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna never win. So the ego wants to win the argument. That's the one that's be like, yeah, go ahead on the go. I don't need you. Peace out. Bam, bam, boom, bam, whatever. The heart is always going to say, hey, listen, I really just want you to stay. I don't care what's going on or what we got going on. I just really want you to stay. You always got to go with the heart. The heart ain't going to lead you wrong too many times. There's times in the heart where you could feel like you led wrong because you gave your heart, and sometimes it don't end the way it's supposed to do, but it is. Love is sometimes a contradiction. All right. It's warm like the sun. For sure. But it can also be mysterious like the dark. You have to embrace the complexity of your partner, because if you think love is every day, nah, it's not. All right. They can be your sunshine and they can be your shadow. You know, loving the whole person, not just the easy parts, is the real works. That's the real work right there. Can you love them through the good, through the bad, through the ups, through the downs? Can you love them when you don't feel at your best? Can you love them when they're not at their best? These are the things, again, these are the sweetest things. It's tough, but these are the sweetest things, all right? And going back to touch, right? There's guidance, there's protection. For the men, you got to ask yourself, are you guiding her physically and emotionally? For the women, do you trust him enough to let him guide you physically and emotionally? Do you trust him enough to guide you through a crowded room? The touch, that touch signals, I got you. Even when you think ego plays a part in it. And a lot of times us dudes, we do have egos. We do have ways that we move, and we move. Sometimes we don't move to our best foot forward, but we still, we thought about it. We had good intentions. When we started out on this path, we had good intentions. Did it go the way that it was supposed to go? No, but we had good intentions. So sometimes, you gotta know, like, I got you. That's the biggest flex. One of the biggest flexes you can get is I got you, and actually have them. More valuable than all I own. She is telling this man that he is more valuable than everything that she owns. All right. Real love outweighs assets. All right. If you would trade your partner for $1 million, you don't have the sweetest thing. If you keep your partner, and you know what, no matter what, they got you. You got them. That connection should be your most prized possession. Period. It should be your most prized possession. All right. In a world that undervalues black men and black women, your relationship got to be your sanctuary. Anytime you get a woman that pours value into her man that the world will definitely try and strip away, her service is to remind you of the royalty when the world forgets. And sometimes we forget who we are as men because the world has a funny way of beating us the hell down to make us forget. So having someone that's in your corner that reminds you of who you are and how much of a king you are when the world makes you forget, it's priceless. Can't put a price on that. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, sometimes we get in these modes, we get in these worlds, we get in these these things where we forget who we are. We forget about our crowns because the world is so busy making trying to knock us off or knock it off our head. And I go through these moments every day. You know what I'm saying? My faith really got tested this week. And it's like I keep telling myself I got this. Even when I don't got it, I still tell myself I got it because I got too many eyeballs watching me for me to feel like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we'll sit here, we'll cry to ourselves. Men will cry to themselves and they'll carry every load and every weight on their shoulders and act like nothing is bothering them. But deep down inside, it be killing us. It do. So when you come across a woman who makes you remember who you are and makes you understand who you are, you take advantage of that. Because there are a lot of women, there are a lot of men who will leave you at your worst. There are a lot of men who get left at their worst. There are a lot of women who get left at their worst. Understanding what love and sacrifice is, you gotta love these people that you love, no matter they bad days. Because if you think everybody is a beauty queen or a beauty king every single day that y'all together, you're bugging. You're bugging. There gonna be some days where that person don't feel like getting up out of bed. There's gonna be some days where he don't feel like going to work. He tired, his body can't take, he need to relax, he's stressed. There's some days that women just don't feel like having relations because they done dealt with the kids all day. They done worked, they done did this, they done cooked, they done clean. You gotta understand, relationships ain't perfect every day. So there is going to be some sacrifice. There is going to be some days where y'all might not agree. There are going to be some days where there's going to be something that he says to piss you off, and now you can't function right. You feel like your cup is being drained and you don't know how to fill it back up. There's going to be some days that he just don't know what to do and he don't know how to feel and he don't know how to win. He feel like you against him and there's going to be days. The trick is to keep loving on those days even more, because that's when the devil is trying to test y'all worth. That's when the devil is trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So again, the service and the love and the peace that she gives is a reminder to you of the royalty that you are. Don't ever forget that. She said, I try to explain, but maybe it's in vain. Your friends won't get it. Your mama won't get it. You got to stop trying to explain your connection to people who aren't in the relationship. You're not with them. All right? If it works for you, it works for you. You don't need a committee to validate your happiness. And I think that's what people slip up at. I like I said, my faith gets tested on a lot of things on the daily. But I know one thing sure as day, right? True love is different. It ain't your pops that gotta live through that love. It ain't your kids. It ain't your nephew. It ain't your baby sister, cousin Tracy. It ain't none of them that's gotta live through that love. They can't be happy for you. They could tell you, oh, well, you got to do this and you should do that and you should say this. They're going to tell you that. But you still got to go out there and be the one to pick that experience up for yourself. You got to pick that experience up. They can't tell you what your experience is. Okay? Straight up. They aren't in here. This is not an orgy. This is not a relationship orgy. This is a me and you thing. Now, you know, if there are times that you want to have an orgy or something, that's a different thing. That motherfuckers got to go home. But anyway, y'all remember we used to sneak on the phones and we used to sneak outside because we had to see them. That was that high school energy, right? sneaking calls because, you know, everybody, you know, them conversations where you done crawled in one of the little cabinets and you just having a conversation because it's so insightful, so deep. You know what I'm saying? You in the backyard, you on the back porch, you down the block somewhere, you done missed curfew because the conversation is so dope. Yeah, them conversations right there. You got to keep that energy alive, right? Don't let the relationship get boring. You know, flirt with them like you sneaking around, man. Playfulness is the preservative of love. Okay? Keep it fresh. Excuse me if I get too deep. Don't apologize for loving hard. All right? We living in the too cool to how cool, my boy. What up? We living in the too cool to care era. All right? She said, excuse me if I get too deep. I'm going to tell you to get deep. Drown in it. All right? If you standing in the shallow end of the pool, you will never learn how to swim. So get deep. You know what I'm saying? Commitment requires depth. You can't never be afraid to get deep for what you love and what you care for. The passion has got to be there. You know what I'm saying? Lauren be talking that talk, man. Real talk. Lauren be talking that talk. Only a few will understand Lauren's passion about love, you know. And that's just how it is, you know. Only a few will understand it, you know. I think a lot of times people get enamored with what society is telling them. Oh no, you can't take care of no man, you can't take care of no woman, blah blah blah, this and that. Stop worrying about what other people got going on. Service is not servitude. Sacrifice is not suffering. When you find your person who is truly valuable, pouring in them doesn't drain you. It refills you. That's how you refill your cup, by pouring into each other with whoever you're dealing with. Somebody just said to me earlier that kind of threw me for a loop, that they were their cup wasn't being refilled and they didn't know how to, their cup was draining and they didn't know how to refill it. And I just sat back in the cut and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. Because I want people to understand that when you're in a relationship, you're not always going to have a full cup. You're not always going to have a full cup. You're not always going to have a sunny and rosy and peachy and butterflies and daisy day. There are going to be some rough ass days. You're going to hit some rough patches. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hit some rough patches. It's going to be some moments. But like I said, can you love through that shit? That's going to test your faith. That's going to test your togetherness. That's going to test that's going to test the coming together. The real explanation for this is simple, right? You have to be secure enough in your own throne to serve somebody else. So if that woman is holding you down, loving you, being there, supportive, understanding, giving you everything that she got, whether she's near, whether she's far, whether she's up, whether she's down. Even when she don't have it to give to herself, she's still trying to figure out ways to give it to you. Whew, stop counting the cost and start counting the sweetness. If it's real, the return on the investment is infinite. Serve the one who deserves you. Don't serve people just because you don't want to be alone, or just because you scared and you know you don't want to lose them to somebody else. Nah. Serve the one who deserves you. Real talk. Real talk. January 10th. Live. You are going to get entertained. I told people last night, this show is definitely a penny dropper. All right, you are definitely guaranteed to get some if you bring your woman to this show. I'll tell you why. and not for nothing, but the host of this show is known to, help people. I help people, you know. But nah, you're gonna have a show, man. When you got dope minds and dope minds coming together to give y'all a show, you gotta take advantage of it. We're gonna give y'all a show. All right. It's gonna be a bunch of grown adult talk in the building. You're gonna have a good time. All right. And I feel like we are gonna be the place to be. Whether or not it's snow, rain, sleet, hail, whatever, we in the building. I think this is for the couples. If you come through and you single, you might leave with somebody, because we got single people gonna be in the building. We got couple people's gonna be in the building. If you a couple, you gonna be a lot stronger and more put together after this show, because that's what we do. We bring people together over here. All right. I'll explain all this later live, January 10th in Chicago. Tickets are on sale right now. You can buy yours. All right. I need you to go tap in, buy some tickets. I'll explain all this live .eventbrite.com. Okay. Like I said, tickets are on sale right now. $20. That gets you a drink. That gets you around hanging out with Big Smash, because I'm not an everybody person, but that gives you a chance to come politic with me, come politic with the gang. We got the crew in the building, Dolly. We got CL. We got Bougie Babe. We got my man Infamous in the building. We got Renee on the drinks. We got my man Kennedy. Shout out to Kennedy, man. I'll tell y'all a quick story about Kennedy. My first show back when I was a rapper, he threw a show for his birthday bash, and he put me on. That was my first show that wasn't an open mic, so it was actually an actual show. So he put me on, and this was in like 2014. I want to say like 2014. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But it was like 2014 or something. And he put me on. This was when I was heavy in the game trying to be a rapper. I thought I was the coolest, smoothest rapper in the world. And he put me on, no doubt. So now fast forward, as we count to 2025, almost 10 years ago, I said, yo, when I do my first show, I'm going to hit this brother. And I hit this brother. And the love that he showed me for this show, I don't even want to tell y'all the love that he showed, because, that's between me and him. But the love that he showed me for this show, you can't do nothing but respect a motherfucker like that. So, with that being said, January 10th. All right. I might rap. I might not rap. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how I feel. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, shout out to all the beautiful people out here doing their thing. There's a lot of dope people out here. And I think sometimes we forget to tell people that inspire us that they dope. We forget to tell people what they mean to us, why they mean something to us. And I just want to tell somebody how inspiring they are to me for everything that they've done in helping me put this show together and helping me get my life together. And so sometimes, again, you just got to give people their flowers, man, and tell them how much they mean to you, even in the midst of a argument or whatever the case. Y'all ain't seeing eye to eye. There's some really good people out here that are pushing for Big Smash to be at his greatest. So I I get on her nerves, but shout out to Crystal. But she knows that it all comes from a good space. You know, it comes from a good space. So shout out to everybody out here doing their thing, man. Y'all already know what this is. With me, I catch y'all when I catch y'all. Might be tomorrow. Might not be. Nah, I'm lying. I'm bullshitting. I'll be out here tomorrow. Y'all already know what it is, man. Tomorrow, I said I'm gonna tackle a song, and it's kind of risky. Based on my history, it's kind of risky. But I said I'm gonna tackle it anyway, you know. So I'll make the announcement on what that song is. But I'm gonna tackle it. It's risky as hell because the song fit me like a motherfucker back in the days. But y'all know what it is with me, man. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. I'm out.